Big Mac, go get him, buddy.
What's up? Welcome to the Go Get 'em as the Yankees drop the second game of the 4-game set against the Rays. They strike out a ton. 17 strikeouts again, same as last night. And I know that's the story for a lot of people, and we'll get into it. But thanks for joining us here live on YouTube, listening to the podcast, subscribe, and a lot to get into with this game, obviously. But the story is going to be, for me, the story is Will Warren. But the Yankees dropped the second game. They're now tied back to fourth, back to behind 4 games in the standings. The series is 1-1. A couple of things jump out at me besides the strikeouts. And first, let's start there. I guess let's just start the strikeouts because, yes, 34 strikeouts in 2 days is a crazy amount of strikeouts. It's the most in American League history, right? It's the first time, I think I saw a bunch of different crazy stats, right? First time in 5 1/3 innings to have 12 strikeouts against one pitcher in less than 6 innings or something along those lines. Like, it's an ungodly number of strikeouts, okay? But I got to be honest with you, and I'm just trying to be honest. The strikeouts aren't the thing that bothers me the most about this game at all. Like, they're not. They're not the thing that bothers me the most about this game. Will Warren getting beat up by the bottom of a miserable Tampa Bay lineup bothers me more. Not being able to get any outs against left-handed pitchers in any key spots bothers me more. The base running blunder from Bellinger bothers me more because I got to be honest. And like, I know everyone's going to push back on this. I know I'm in the minority here. The 17 strikeouts are atrocious. It speaks to this offense. It's an ugly, hideous number. It's way, way, way too many strikeouts. I am not saying different. It is way too many strikeouts. And it's a major problem with this team. They have guys who strike out. 17 is too many. But if we're honest with ourselves, like, I'm just saying, they have 11 hits in this game. Yesterday, 17 strikeouts, 3 hits. It's 3 home runs. They win the game. Right? And they scored 5 runs. You didn't need Cam Schlittler's performance. You could have had an average performance from a starting pitcher and give up 3 runs, whatever. But, like, I don't view these strikeouts out. Like, it wasn't like, and I heard them say this in the postgame. I heard Jack Curry say this in the postgame. And I don't know if I agree with it. Like, sure. Would I like them to put the ball in play? Yeah, but I don't think the Yankees had situational at-bats tonight where you look at it and go, man, anything but the strikeout here. Just put the ball in play. Like, those, they didn't have those tonight. You look at it, two times, the Yankees had runner at third base with less than 2 outs. And they scored both times. Yes, Goldschmidt strikes out in the 3rd inning with a runner at third after the bloop double from Grisham. He strikes out, and he is 0 for 30. And I believe all 4 strikeouts, Ryan said, I want to make sure, all 4 strikeouts against left-handed pitching.
It was. I confirmed it. All lefties.
This is a guy who crushes lefties. He was, I don't know if he still is, he was literally the best hitter in Major League Baseball against lefties. And he's 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. But in the 3rd inning, runner at third, less than 2 outs, 2nd and 3rd, less than 2 outs. Goldschmidt strikes out, killer, but he's picked up by his teammate with the 3-run home run from Rice. The other opportunity was in the 7th inning when you get the leadoff single from Jazz, you get the pinch hit single from Dominguez, and then Sanchez gives you the sacrifice fly. Grisham, so, like, that's the only other time in the game where there was a runner at third base and less than 2 outs, and the Yankees got them in both times. So, and I look at it, and the strikeout, like, again, like Goldschmidt had a pop-up, right? That should have been caught by the catcher. It lands in play, should have been caught, and then he ends up striking out. Would we all be happier if the catcher caught the pop-up? Does that make Goldschmidt's line better today if he's 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts and a pop-up to the catcher? Like, it speaks to the totality of the offense, no doubt. Like, I think it speaks to a large problem with this Yankee team. I don't look at tonight and say the 17 strikeouts are why they lost. They had 11 hits. They had 11 hits. They couldn't come through with the big hit, but they struck out sometimes in those situations. But ground ball to short's the same thing as a strikeout with 2 outs and a runner at first and second. Like, you got to come through with the big hit. Would I like them to put the ball in play more? Absolutely. But I don't look at the strikeouts tonight. I'm going to get into more different things. I think the Bellinger base running blunder cost the Yankees more than the 17 strikeouts. I honestly do. I think it cost them more. Because again, there wasn't a ton of there was not a single spot in this game where you go anything but a strikeout. Put the ball in play. Now, things can happen if you put the ball in play. Things can't happen if you strike out. I get that. But Tampa Bay's a good defensive team. And they had 11 hits in the game. They did have 11 hits. And I would ask you, if a Yankee pitcher went 5 1/3, gave up 5 hits and 3 runs and 12 strikeouts, would we be focusing on the 12 strikeouts of that pitcher? Or would we say, man, he only went 5 and he gave up 3 runs? Like, it's an ungodly number. It's breaking records. I don't view this game as, oh my God, they struck out 17 times. This team sucks. Now, the team stinks. They're still in the midst of this swoon. And the offense didn't do enough tonight with their 4 runs. But I don't view this game as they lost this game because they struck out 17 times. I really don't. So let's get into some of the different things, because let's be honest, and with the 17 strikeouts, 8 of them are from Goldschmidt and Caballero. And some of the strikeouts are like the one from Caballero, and I knew once we make a big deal, and I know it's not just me, but I specifically made a big deal of making sure Caballero is the starting shortstop. I think we all agreed. We all wanted Caballero as the starting shortstop. Boone comes out in the postgame last night and says, shortstop is up for debate or day to day, and we all went nuts. We all felt like that's the mistake. Caballero should be in there. So you knew when we all, myself being number one, I did it today all afternoon long on WFAN, you knew he was either going to come through for us or have a miserable freaking game. And he had a miserable game. And when I talk about Caballero, I don't talk about him as, man, he's a terrific player. He has to be the starting shortstop. He's slightly better defensively than Volpe, and the team plays better with him at shortstop defensively. That's why I want him at shortstop, not because he's a great player. And you saw tonight, and I don't know what happened in the second inning. I ran in here as soon as Boone contract extension to 2031. We can only hope so, because that means he's got a World Series championship. Otherwise, he wouldn't get a contract extension. So, hold on. I forgot to plug it in. If Boone gets a contract extension, that means they've won a World Series. So if they extend Boone till 2031, that is a good sign for the New York Yankees. Caballero in the second inning. First, I have a problem with Bellinger too. Like, Bellinger is absolutely killing him. What is he, 6 for his last 40 over the last 18 games? 6. He is absolutely atrocious. And we talk about pitchers who've been dominant and faced the Yankees, and you can understand some of the futility. Tonight was not one of them. Seymour's good, and I know he's got good numbers, and he's striking out a batter an inning or whatever. But I thought Bellinger's first at bat. When Bellinger's going good, he is aggressive on breaking balls in from lefties. You throw it at his hip and try and hit the inside corner, he's all over it. He takes one of those pitches early on, and then I think it was a full count or 3-1, 2-2, whatever. And he swings through a breaking ball, man, right down the middle, a hanging breaking ball right down the middle. Bellinger is lost. He is absolutely lost. And to me, he is the culprit numero uno of what's going on here, because he has done nothing for them. He is supposed to be, he's an all-star. He's their free agency. He was the offseason. He was the entire offseason. And we all agreed with bringing him back. He's been an all-star this year. And right now, he is killing them. That is a terrible strikeout. Followed up by Caballero, who literally gives up on a pitch. I don't know. They were trying to explain it in the game. I don't know if I have ever seen that in my entire life. I don't know if I've ever seen a player. I've seen it with a 3-0 count. I've seen it on the first pitch of an at-bat. I have never seen it on a 2-2 or 3-2 count. It was a 3-2 count. He gave up on the baseball practically before it left the pitcher's hand. If someone wants to comment and tell me what Boone said about that, because again, I ran in here, I had to go put the kids to bed. I did not see Boone's postgame. I have no idea what that was. He goes 0 for 4, and on the first strikeout of the game for him, he just watches a fastball down the middle and doesn't even attempt to swing at it or even be a hitter in the box. That is unbelievable. And I don't know what the explanation could possibly be. But Caballero really let the fan base down after we collectively shouted from the rooftops he needs to be the starting shortstop moving forward. He decided to give up on an at-bat. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Never seen anything like it in my life. And we can get to Warren before we start getting to all that. I just want to say, again, I'm not saying it's a good sign. It's an overall indication or indictment on what this offense is, and one of their holes is striking out too much swing and miss on most nights. Last night, too much swing and miss. I said it when we came on the podcast. Home runs, Cam Schlittler, you can win with power and power pitching. I'm not going to apologize for the win, but the offense was bad last night. I said it. Tonight, it's not good to strike out 17 times, but they got 11 hits. They got 11 hits, and I don't think the strikeouts came in any key situation where you said to yourself, anything but a strikeout. Just put the ball in play here. Like, that didn't exist in this game. Doesn't make the strikeouts good. I'm not saying it's okay. It is a bad sign for this offense. I'm just saying the story of the game for me and why they lost this game is not about the 17 strikeouts. We're going to make it so because 17 strikeouts is an outrageous number, back-to-back nights, worst in American League history. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. It's atrocious. But if you ask me, 8 of them came from 2 players, and really there was never a moment where just put the ball in play and the Yankees would significantly benefit from it. That didn't exist in this game. This is more about Will Warren not being able to get out Mesa, Will Warren not being able to get out Palacios, Will Warren giving up home runs to Fiducia. Like, that's the problem with this game. And then not coming through in a couple of key situations. And Bellinger, instead of having a situation where you're first and third, nobody out, first and third, one out, you try and do too much and get thrown out at first base. I have more of a problem with that play and Will Warren not being able to get out the bottom of a lousy Tampa Bay lineup than I do 17 strikeouts. Watching the game, those 2 things had a bigger impact on why they lost than 17 strikeouts. The 17 strikeouts is a talking point in generalities about the failings and the biggest holes in the Yankees lineup in totality when discussing the team. And that's fair. There is way too much swing and miss in their game. We talked about trading for a rise or doing some different things to get some more contact. So I'm with you. But if we're just talking about why they lost this specific game, I think the 17 strikeouts is like 3rd or 4th on the list for me. It really is. It's more about Will Warren no longer having a lot of swing and miss in his game. And left-handed hitters absolutely tore him apart tonight. He actually, outside of the Diaz home run, he did a good job against Aranda, and he did a good job against Caminero. He got beat by the bottom of a lousy order. Mesa's 4th home run of the year is on. His OPS was like, I think, in the low 6s, and he's given up home runs to him. The 9-hitter, the catcher, he walks the 9-hitter after giving up the home run to Mesa in the 2nd inning, right? He gives up a single to Palacios. He's got 2 outs and the 9-hitter up, and he throws a 3-2 slider in the dirt to walk him and have to pitch to Diaz, who beats him with a single. Walking the 9-hitter, and I know he ends up hitting a home run, a 2-run shot in the 4th in his next at bat against him, but you cannot walk the 9-hitter, Will Warren. You cannot walk the 9-hitter. With the only 3 batters that are any damn good on this team coming up. That's unacceptable to walk the 9-hitter there. And then Diaz makes him pay with the RBI single. And then even then, the Yankees come back, and then Rice hits the big home run. Good to see Rice swinging the bat much better. 3 for 4 tonight, home run. Hopefully he's snapping out of it, which would be a big sign for the Yankees. But he gets a 3-run home run to give them the lead after, again, another miserable bat from Paul Goldschmidt. And you look at that at bat in the second inning from Paul Goldschmidt, right? They're all miserable. Every single one of them is miserable. The at bat in the 7th is disgusting. The strikeout in the 7th inning, disgusting. Like the strikeout in the 3rd, and it's going to not be discussed as much because Ben Rice picks him up and hits the 3-run home run. But it's the best example of the bunch on him being lost at the plate. This is an aggressive hitter. Paul Goldschmidt swings at first pitch fastballs, particularly against lefties. And he comes up there, and yes, a base is open. Ben Rice is hitting behind you. Yes, you're a right-handed hitter. Yes, Ben Rice is a left-handed hitter, but he's Ben Rice. They are not walking you or pitching around you or even being careful to you with Ben Rice hitting behind you. And he takes a fastball right down the middle. Go back and watch that at bat. Goldschmidt takes a fastball on the first pitch right down the middle. The minute he did that, I had zero confidence in the at bat. And you can tell Paul Goldschmidt is not himself right now. He is 0 for 30. He takes a fastball right down the middle. He ends up swinging at a breaking ball down and fouling it away, and then he gets beat on a fastball up. He is 0 for 30. He is killing them. He's killing them. And I think it's time now where Boone, at least right now, even against lefties, I don't know if you can hit him second in the order. I don't know if you can lead him off anymore against lefties. I don't know if you can hit him second in the order against lefties. Like, right now, he's 0 for 30, and he looks every bit of it. Like, there aren't good at bats. He hasn't been unlucky. He's not hitting it right at guys. He was 0 for 4 tonight, 4 strikeouts against all left-handed pitching. It is a disgusting performance from Paul Goldschmidt. He strikes out in the 3rd. He ends up getting picked up by the 3-run home run from Ben Rice, but that was an awful at bat. Awful at bat. Then you get to the 4th. He gets Mesa to fly out for the first at bat. Walls with a single. Palacios with a double. Schumann, who had a bunt single to start that inning, by the way, in the 3rd. And then the bloop double by Grisham. Schumann's been good. Schumann's got 2 hits in this game. Schumann's been good. I don't know. He's not a great outfielder. I'm not sure what he could have done on that play. I have no problem leaving his feet because Grisham's heading to the ball. So it's not like he's going to be able to play that ball any better off the wall than Grisham is anyway. So I have no problem leaving his feet. Maybe he could have went a little bit more deep and back as opposed to just straight across. But I'd have to really watch that a bunch of times to see if he got a bad angle on that ball in the gap. But he rips the double, and then you give up the 2-run home run to a lousy hitting catcher. I mean, and then you give up the home run to Diaz. Warren had absolutely nothing. Warren is trending down. Warren is not getting the swing and miss. I know he had a pretty good start his last time out, but this was after being given that lead in the 3rd inning, he had to make it stick for a little bit, and he gets absolutely shelled in the 4th. And that was pretty much the game. Like, the offense, I mean, they do come back and fight a little bit, and they get a lot of hits off the bullpen. Most of the 12 of the 17 strikeouts come in the first 5 innings against Seymour. But, like, again, the offense starts to get some hits, but they just can't come through. And then you get the 6th inning and the Bellinger play. And to me, I'm more upset about that Bellinger play than I am the strikeouts. It's not even close. It's not even close. And I know we all want to blame Boone, and someone just paid $20 to suggest Boone to sarcastically comment about Boone being extended. Bellinger is a 3-time All-Star, an MVP, a veteran in this league. He comes up after McMahon pinch hits with a single, and he gets his first hard hit ball practically in a month, and he gets the base hit. The throw goes to 3rd, and I have no idea what he's doing. I have no idea what he's doing. Like that, the throw wasn't cut off. He was stopping immediately. Like, I don't know. I tried to watch it a couple times. I don't know what Bellinger is even thinking. Unless that throw is in the dirt. Now I know Caballero comes up off the bag because there's not going to be a play at third. So maybe he's thinking there's a play at third and a tag. It is a horrible baseball play. It's a horrible base running decision. And it speaks to what, like, again, the problem isn't that this team is laid back and loosey-goosey and doesn't care. Like, I don't think that's it. I don't think it's accountability either. Like, I don't think Bellinger makes that play because he's not held accountable. I think Bellinger is trying to do something because he knows that he sucks and he's trying to hold himself accountable and he's trying to get to second base. He's trying to get to second base so they can score 2 runs on a single. And he just makes a horrible base running play. It's atrocious. He is in no man's land. I have no idea what the hell he is thinking. I have no idea what he's thinking. He is killing them. He is without question, in my mind, the number one guy to blame for this swoon. If we have to blame one guy, I am blaming Cody Bellinger. He is without question the number one culprit. He is supposed to be their guy. He's supposed to be the second best hitter on this team. He's supposed to be the guy who steps up when Judge goes down. And he has been atrocious for the last 17 games. He is mired in one of the worst slumps I've ever seen. And then tonight, when he finally does something good, he completely ruins it by running himself out of the inning and running the Yankees out of the inning. It is unbelievable how bad he is right now. And if anybody you want to blame, I know we all want to throw blame at Volpe. We can blame the manager. You can blame anyone you want. Goldschmidt's 0 for 30. I still put more of it on Bellinger. And that base running blunder on top of everything else that's just, it can't happen. It cannot happen. With the way this team is swinging the bats, the importance of this series, who he is to this team, he can't make that mistake in that moment. He can't. And he knows it. He doesn't need the manager to tell him. He knows it. And it's sticking in my craw a hell of a lot more than the strikeouts are. Hell of a lot more. That play's unacceptable. Caballero strikes out the next inning. Jazz single. Dominguez pinch hitting for Schumann gets a single. I mean, just because I'm the shill and I'll throw it out there, I thought Boone did a nice job with all his pinch hits. He pinch hits McMahon base hit. He pinch hits Dominguez base hit. You get the first 2 hits, first and third, nobody out. Sanchez gives you the sacrifice fly. I don't know what else you'd want from Sanchez. That's doing his job. He gets you the sacrifice fly. And then Grisham hits a long fly ball to the track for the out, and then Goldschmidt strikes out against the lefty, 3-1, swings at a pitch down out of the zone, and then 3-2, a breaking ball right down the freaking middle. Breaking ball right down the middle. Right down the middle. Against the lefty. If you want to say it's worse that he did that instead of flying out, okay. I guess I'd rather have him fly out. Maybe they drop the ball. Maybe they lose it in the chop ceiling. Maybe they do. I care. He didn't come through. I care less about how he didn't come through. He didn't come through. There are times when a strikeout kills you. I don't think a lot of those situations came up in this game. I just don't. 17 strikeouts is unacceptable. It is a larger issue. It's not why they lost this game. It's really not why they lost the game. I mean, bullpen does a great job. Hill comes in, does a nice job. Blackburn comes in, does a great job. Hedrick comes in, does a good job. Like, that's great and all. And it speaks to when, this is a big series And Boone does something in this game that he doesn't typically do. He went through 3 of his better relievers to keep the game close. Right? He goes through 3 of his better relievers to keep the game at 3 runs and 2 runs. And now that's one of the games. Like, they could still pitch tomorrow, but if they pitch tomorrow, then they can't pitch the final game of this series. So, like, that's the trade-off. They came in, did their job, pitched great. Now Tampa Bay's seen them. Now they can't pitch in the next 2 games of this series. If they have a lead in either of these 2 games, they're probably only going to be able to pitch in one of the next 2 games. And you went through them to secure a deficit with this lousy offense. And that's why Boone doesn't do it often. Because they came in, did their job, 3 of your more trusted relievers, kept it close. He didn't bring in Duvall and let the game get away. He brought in 3 of his better relievers, and now those 3 guys probably won't be able to pitch in both of those games in the next 2, where hopefully they'll have a chance to win. Maybe you might need them in a spot, and now you don't have them because you tried to secure a 2- and 3-run deficit with an offense who strikes out 17 times. At least he didn't throw Duvall. You almost rather have him throw Duvall. Who gives a damn? Losing by 2, losing by 7. Who cares? It's a loss. But, I mean, Will Warren walking 9 hitters, giving up home runs to 9 hitters. Just an ugly, ugly game. Let's see if we can go through some of the comments here, because I'm sure you guys disagree with me on the strikeouts. George Steinbrenner Sr. would have done. I don't know what he would have done. This team will be fine. Yeah, look, again, they're a playoff team. I have no doubt about that. This series has what we've said from the beginning. This series has a long way to go into how the division plays out, which I think is important. But yeah, this is a playoff team. I still feel that way. I still think when healthy, they're going to be the best team in the American League. Still feel that way. Still do. Still do. But Judge and Stanton ain't coming back. I think they are. But if they don't, then yeah, that changes. If they don't, then they're not the best team in the American League. They need those 2 guys back. Certainly Judge. Even with just Judge. Now you got to see what they do at the trade deadline, but we'll have a trade deadline podcast. I don't know if it's now. I'm just reacting to this game. I don't think they'll get bounced in the first round. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. We said this last year. They got bounced in the second round outside the wild card. Yeah. You probably all said the same thing the year before they went to the World Series. We say it every year. That's pretty much what we always say. They'll lose in the first round. You guys, every Yankee fan is Randy Quaid from Major League 2. They'll blow it in the playoffs. It's what every Yankee fan has become, and rightfully so. They lose in the playoffs. But you have to get to the playoffs to win in the playoffs. And I'm sorry, again, you throw Cam Schlittler, you throw Garrett Cole, you throw Max Fried. Maybe they pick up another starting pitcher. The offense gets whole. You think they can't win? They can't get to the World Series in this American League? If you say so. Who's going to beat them in the first round? Doesn't matter. Someone will, right? But I don't want to get into all this. I want to talk about the game. Are there any comments about the actual game or what's going on other than just overall they'll lose in the playoffs and some of the same platitudes we say every single time they lose a game? Every single time they lose a game. They'll blow it in the playoffs. This doesn't matter. Every time they lose. And every time they win, same thing. Doesn't matter. They'll blow it in the playoffs. Biggest play was Goldie, close game. Yes, I agree. That was the biggest play of the game, him getting thrown out. I thought the original lineup, I had no problem with the lineup. Rosario's kind of struggling as well. Rosario strikes out in both his at-bats. Jazz strikes out a couple times. I thought the Yankees did have an opportunity on several occasions to challenge some called third strikes. I thought Jazz did for sure on one of his, but it was 0-2. And it was the final out of the inning. Like, those are times where we're kind of telling them, don't challenge. You're already down 0-2. It's 2 outs, nobody on. If you maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong. Why would you waste the challenge down 0-2 with 2 outs? What if the 2026 Yankees do not make the playoffs? Could happen. I don't think it will. But what if it happens? Everyone gets fired. At least that's what should happen. But I don't think it's going to happen. There are 8 games in the loss column up on a playoff spot. But again, hey, we went into the series saying they needed to take 2. That's what they needed to do. You'd like to take 3. Talked about it last night. Maybe you make a statement, you take 3. That's still on the table. Can't sweep, can't be swept. They need to figure out a way, in my mind, to win one of the next 2 games, bare minimum. You win one of the next 2 games in the middle of playing lousy. You went into Tampa Bay and split a 4-game set while they were hot and you were lousy. I'll take it. It's not great. I know that, what happened to the expectations of the once great Yankee franchise? Who gives a damn? It's about this team right now. And this team right now, with injuries and how they're playing, I would take a split. So they need to figure out a way. And I said that going in, and I even said that after last night. Go in, figure out a way to win the next 2 games. You get Cole on the mound tomorrow against a very good left-handed pitcher. They got to find a way to be better offensively. Now, again, tonight, I'm somewhat positive about Rice coming through and getting hot. Hopefully that's a big sign. He's got back-to-back nights with a homer. He's got 3 hits in this game, and I thought he looked like Ben Rice. Hard line drives, even on the ground out to first, hit it hard. Like when he was swinging, he's swinging at it, he's hitting it hard. Like that's what Ben Rice has done for a lot of the year. He got away from that over the last 2 weeks or so. Tonight looked like Ben Rice. Yes, the home run, but even not. The singles were hard hit. They were bullets. It wasn't a bloop. It wasn't an infield single. He was hitting bullets all over the place. That's a good sign if Ben Rice can start to get hot. I also thought, you get 11 hits compared to last night's 3. I know the 3 home runs and you got a better pitch game, so you won the game. But tonight, they had some traffic. They had some guys on. Schumann got a hit. Dominguez got a hit. Sanchez with 2 hits. The bottom of the order was a little bit better tonight than it's been. 3 hits from Ben Rice. Bellinger got a hit, but pissed me off. Grisham with a bloop double. They got 11 hits in the game. I know we're going to go nuts about the strikeouts. I get it. I do get it. I think it's but I think that's more of a long-term view of the team and who they are and things that need to change. And I think the conversation about trading for, a second baseman with more contact like Luis Ariz, if the Giants are willing to trade him, I think that makes a lot of sense for the Yankees. I heard Buster Olney talking about it. I think that would be a major upgrade on this team if you could trade Jazz and bring in Luis Ariz. And not that Luis Ariz is much, much better. This year he certainly is. Jazz is having a down year. But he gives you a different element to the team that they don't have. Right? He's a guy who's not going to strike out. He's going to put the ball in play. He's hitting 320 this year. Although I think he's flawed, not great defensively, 0 pop. There's a reason why he doesn't get contracts. But at the same time, for this particular team, I think he fits them and what they need. So I think the strikeouts are an overall offense conversation, not so much about why they lost this game tonight. I'm probably in the minority. I know everyone's going to go nuts about the strikeouts. I don't think there was one situation where you really said anything but a strikeout. You needed hits. They got 11 of them. They didn't get enough. They didn't get them in the key situations. Goldschmidt comes up in the 7th. It doesn't matter if the pop-up is caught. It doesn't matter if he grounds out the short. It doesn't matter if he hits a fly ball to center. Doesn't matter if he strikes out. He needed to come through with a base hit there. That wasn't a situation where put the ball in play and see what happens. He had to come through with a base hit. Would I rather have him put it in play and see if there's an error? Sure. But I can't rely on errors. He needed to come through with a base hit. And he struck out. That was a huge at bat. Caballero comes up with, runner on third, 2 outs. He needs to come through with a hit. He doesn't need to put the ball in play. He doesn't need to, a drop third strike would have done. He needs to get on. He needs to drive in the run. He didn't. Strikeout, fly ball. There's no difference in that spot. There's no difference. And there really weren't a lot of spots in this game where putting the ball in play would have helped them over a strikeout. But it speaks to the offense swinging and missing too much. Because there are spots in games that will come up where you need to put the ball in play, like we saw with Cabrera against the Tigers, and their strikeouts. Too many strikeouts with this team. No one's going to argue. I'd be a fool to argue 34 in 2 games. I'm just saying, I look at this game and I don't see it as, man, if only they put the ball in play more. If only they would have done that and moved the runner over. In what inning? When should they have moved the runner over? When should they have had better situational hitting? One spot, Goldschmidt in the 3rd, and he was picked up by Ben Rice. Outside of that, there was no spot where a situational at-bat would have done better. First 2 guys are out in the 1st inning. All 3 guys strike out in the 2nd inning. We talked about the 3rd inning. 4th inning, all 3 guys make out. 4th inning, first pitch, first at-bat strikeout. Sanchez with a single, so there's a runner at first base with 1 out. You can't do anything. You need a base hit somewhere along the line. Don't get it. In the 6th inning, same thing. Rice grounds out to start the 6th. You get the McMahon pinch hit, and then you get the Bellinger play. They could have been in a situation where a strikeout would have hurt them. They could have been in a situation where putting in the ball in play could help them. But Bellinger gets himself thrown out on the bases. So that spot doesn't exist there. The 7th inning, 2 singles to start the inning. You get the sacrifice fly with 1st and 3rd. But now you've got a runner at first with 2 outs. You need hits. They don't get them. Ground balls don't help you. You need hits. Rice leads off the 8th with a base hit. Volpe puts the ball in play and grounds out to second base. Thank God he didn't strike out. That would have been a huge difference. Imagine if there were 18 strikeouts tonight instead of that ground ball to second. Man, would have been a completely different game. He grounds out to second, doesn't do anything. And from there, you need a hit with a runner on 2 outs. Like, there were no spots where putting the ball in play made a difference, other than you're hoping they throw it away or something. They needed hits. And yes, you have a better chance of getting hit if you put the ball in play. I get it. They had 11 hits. Too many strikeouts. Ugly offensive performance on the strikeout part of it. But honestly, I think Wells is to blame and Bellinger's to blame. All right. We'll talk tomorrow night. We'll break down that game. Ryan, if you think there's anything I'm missing here, trying to think. I wrote it down. The Bellinger swing in the 2nd. Caballero looking. I've never seen that. By the way, did you get a chance to see the post game or hear anything from Boone?
Yeah, I breezed through it. I didn't hear any. I was trying to listen to you at the same time. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear anything about the Caballero at bat. I think the quote that's going to get people mad is that he said that he still likes the approach from the lineup when asked about all the strikeouts.
Yeah, I saw that. I think I saw that one just watching it. He said, I don't necessarily do you have a problem with the approach? And he said, no, I don't. I guess I don't have a problem with the approach. We just need to, do better. I mean, again, watching the game tonight, and I know we're all hitting experts. I don't think Goldschmidt struck out 4 times swinging for the fences. Goldschmidt's the guy who puts the ball in play. Goldschmidt's the guy we're pissed off he didn't pinch hit to put the ball in play. Like, maybe Rosario, he swings for the fences a little bit. Caballero's not a good hitter. He strikes out 4 times. I mean, they bunted with Schumann. I'm just trying to be fair. Should you say I want to change the approach because of 17 strikeouts? I guess I can understand why we're not like the approach, like the 17 strikeouts. Change the approach. What exactly about the approach? Like, you want them just to, again, did you see guys tonight? And maybe you could say yes, maybe you did. Did you see guys tonight swing for the fences? Bellinger's the guy who cuts down his swing with 2 strikes. Goldschmidt's the guy who puts the ball in play and cuts his swing and looks to go the other way. Caballero struck out 4 times. Is he swinging for the fences swinging for the fences last night? His approach won them the game last night. So, I think it's just easy to say, should you change your approach? They don't have hitters who have a different approach. That's why I'm talking about trading for Arise, because he's a player with a different approach. Like, that's why I want to make that swap for him and Jazz, because that's who Jazz is. 30-30, strike out, hit home runs. That's Jazz. Like, that's the player they brought in here. And he was super productive up until this season. This year he's not. And this team could use a guy with a different approach. Go get a rise. But, I mean, ultimately, like, what's the approach? Don't strike out at all costs? I mean, again, contact for contact's sake isn't necessarily a good approach. They need to hit home runs. We understand that. They hit a 3-run home run to give themselves the lead. And then the starting pitcher spit the bit. And they did get 11 hits. How many hits you expect? They out-hit the Rays in this game. Like, they need to come through with the hits in the key situations. But, again, if you know the approach that they should go to, if you know the flat approach, short to the ball, long through the zone, or any other cliches you want to pick up on your, Lemansky videos, feel free to bring them to the table. But, like, I really don't. These are the players they have. These are the players they have. This is who they are. Goldschmidt's supposed to be the approach guy, 0 for 4 at 4 strikeouts. Bellinger's supposed to be the approach guy, 7 for his last 150. Schumann's an approach guy. He got 2 hits in this game. Or he got 1 hit in the game and he got pinch hit for. And Dominguez gets a hit in this game. Sanchez, who should probably play over Wells more often, gets 2 hits in this game. Grisham has a double and scores a run. Like, what's the approach change? What should the approach change be? Please tell me. Let me know what does anyone have any comments on what the new approach should be? My guess is the approach is don't suck. I think that should be the approach. Don't suck. But there are mistakes in this game. The Caballero looking and giving up on a pitch, and the base running from Bellinger bother me a hell of a lot more than the strikeouts. They really do. Bullpen did a good job. That's a positive. Ben Rice, 3 hits and a home run. Home run last night, home run tonight. That's a major positive. Outside of that, I know we're going to harp on the strikeouts, and I'm not saying we shouldn't. It's disgusting to strike out 34 times in 2 games. It's unfathomable. It is. It's 34 strikeouts in 2 games. It's an American League record. It's unacceptable. I'm not saying different. I'm just saying, like, yeah, outside of the obvious, put the ball in play, maybe you get an error, maybe you bloop one like Grisham did. Of course, I'd rather have them put the ball in play than strikeouts. But we complain about, like, I don't think there were times in this game that you say to yourself, man, if only they move the runner over, only if they put the ball in play, only if they hit a sac fly. Like there are times, and again, to my point, you strike out this much, there are going to be times where you'll have opportunities to do those things, move a runner over, productive outs, sacrifice flies. And if you strike out this much consistently, you're not going to come through in those times. And that's been a problem for the Yankees in the past. So again, overall, major problem with 34 strikeouts in 2 games. But if I'm being fair, none of the strikeouts were in spots that hurt them specifically because they struck out. Only in the generalities of maybe one falls in if you just put the ball in play, or maybe someone throws it away. Of course. I'm not, but I'm just trying to be like, who knows if those things could happen or not. There are situations where you go, if you hit a ground ball to second, runner moves to third, set up for a run. Runner at third base, less than 2 outs, you don't strike out and put the ball in play, you can score a run. Those are like the precise don't strike out, help the team situations. Those didn't exist tonight. But of course, you want to put the ball in play, mainly because anything could happen. Totally true. And 2, over the course of time, those situations are going to come up a lot, and you can't strike out this much. So back-to-back nights where they're getting embarrassed with the strikeout, but they have split the first 2 games of the series. I know last night now no longer matters. The win last night means nothing. All we are going to focus on the loss today, and I get it. But they've split the first 2. Find a way again to split the next 2. Find a way to split the next 2. And hopefully Cole gives them what they need tomorrow night. And they've done a really good job outside of tonight with Diaz a little bit. they've done a really good job in these first two games. And I know one's Cam, but they did a really good job holding down the top of the Rays order, which tonight wasn't good enough. But I think if you play the Rays, most nights, if you can keep the top of the order from hurting you, you're going to be in a good position to win the game. And over the first two games, Caballero is yet to get a hit. Aranda got a walk, but is yet to get a hit. And Diaz, an RBI single and a solo home run, hurt them tonight. But they've shut down Caballero, and overall, the top of the order is now 2 for 24, 2 for 23 with a walk. 2 for 23 with a walk. The first three batters of the order. Typically, if you do that, you're going to have a good chance to beat the Rays. Worked last night, didn't work tonight. Yankees split the series with Cole on the mound tomorrow against McClanahan, a tough lefty. Let's hope they don't strike out 17 times. I also don't want them just swinging and hit the ball and play. You got to take your ace swing. You got to drive the baseball. So Yankees need to go get a win tomorrow night to secure this split at the bare minimum with a chance to go win the series on Thursday. Thank you guys for watching live. Thank you for checking out the podcast on Apple or wherever you get your podcast. It's the Go Get 'Em podcast. Like, subscribe, all of that. I will catch you tomorrow if you're a fan of WFAN. I'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And then tomorrow night, same time, same bat channel, we will have a reaction to the third game of this series. That's how important this series is. We go get them every single night. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Safe travels and go get them.